Have you ever judged someone by their job only to discover they had a heart far richer than any millionaire? Stay till the end, because this story will touch your heart and remind you what true wealth really means. And if it moves you even a little, make sure to like this video and subscribe, because kindness like this deserves to be shared. It was a rainy Monday morning when Olivia Hartman, the youngest female CEO of Hartman Industries, walked through the shining marble lobby of her corporate headquarters. Her heels clicked sharply as her assistant trailed behind, reading out her packed schedule: investor meetings, product reviews, media calls. Olivia barely noticed the janitor quietly mopping the floor near the entrance. She was used to seeing him tall, humble, always with a polite smile, but she never paid much attention. His name was Daniel Reed. Daniel was a single dad. Most people didn't know much about him except that he worked late hours, never complained, and often stayed after his shift to help others. But beyond his quiet presence, Daniel carried a story no one at the company had ever heard. That morning, as Olivia rushed into the elevator, she noticed something unusual. Daniel was kneeling beside a little boy, maybe 7 or 8, tying his shoelaces and handing him a lunch bag. The child hugged him tightly before leaving with another woman, likely a babysitter. Olivia's eyes softened for a moment, but the elevator doors closed before she could think much about it. Later that day, she heard raised voices in the finance department. "I'm sorry, sir, but we can't deduct this much from your paycheck every month," a young accountant said. Olivia paused outside the door, curiosity pulling her closer. Daniel stood there, cap in hand, looking slightly embarrassed. "It's okay, I've done this for years. Half my paycheck goes to the orphanage on Maple Street, just keep it that way." The accountant shook his head. "Half your paycheck? You have a kid to raise, Daniel. You can't survive on what's left." Olivia froze. Half his paycheck to orphans? She peeked inside, unnoticed. Daniel smiled faintly. "Those kids don't have anyone. I know what it's like to lose family. If I can help them smile even a little, that's enough for me." The room went silent. Even the accountant didn't know what to say. Olivia quickly stepped back before anyone saw her. For the rest of the day, she couldn't focus. Her mind kept circling back to that quiet janitor, the man she'd walked past 100 times without a second glance. That night, after everyone had left, Olivia stayed in her office overlooking the city lights. She had built everything: the company, her reputation, her empire, from scratch. She had everything money could buy, but in that lonely glass office she felt empty. She thought of Daniel's words, "If I can help them smile even a little, that's enough for me." The next morning, she arrived early. Daniel was already there, polishing the floors with his usual quiet focus. Olivia hesitated, then approached him. "Good morning, Daniel," she said softly. He looked up, startled. "Oh, good morning, ma'am." "I overheard what you said yesterday," she began, "about donating half your paycheck. Why do you do it?" He seemed nervous. "It's not much, really. I know what it's like to have nothing. My wife passed away 5 years ago. The orphanage took care of my boy for a while when I couldn't. When I got back on my feet, I promised I'd never forget them." Olivia's throat tightened. "That's incredible," she whispered. Daniel just smiled. "I don't have much, ma'am, but what I have, I share." For the first time in years, Olivia felt small, not because of shame, but because of perspective. That day, she canceled her investor meeting and drove straight to the orphanage Daniel mentioned. It wasn't what she expected. The building was old, the paint peeling, but the laughter of children filled the air. Inside, the caretaker told her about Mr. Reed, the janitor who brought food, clothes, and sometimes toys. "He never forgets a birthday," the woman said. "The kids call him Uncle Danny." Olivia couldn't hold back tears. A janitor who gave half his earnings to children he wasn't even related to, while she, a CEO, had spent years chasing profits and prestige. That evening, she called Daniel to her office. He entered hesitantly, hat in hand, thinking he'd done something wrong. Instead, Olivia stood up and extended her hand. "Daniel, you've taught me more about leadership than any business book ever could." He blinked, confused. "Ma'am, I visited the orphanage. You've been doing something extraordinary," quietly, humbly, without asking for anything in return. "From now on, Hartman Industries will sponsor that orphanage fully. Every child there will get education, healthcare, and a future." Daniel's eyes widened. "Ma'am, I don't know what to say." Olivia smiled warmly. "Just keep doing what you do best, spreading kindness. You inspired this." Tears welled up in his eyes. "Thank you, Ms. Hartman. You have no idea what this means." Over the next few months, the company transformed. The story spread, employees volunteered at the orphanage, donations poured in, and Olivia began attending the kids' weekend activities herself. She even noticed Daniel's son playing happily among the children, laughing louder than she'd ever seen him before. One afternoon, the little boy ran up to Olivia and handed her a drawing. It showed a tall woman holding hands with a man in a janitor's uniform, surrounded by smiling kids. On the top, in messy handwriting, it said, "Real heroes don't wear suits, they carry mops and hearts." Olivia held back tears. That picture stayed framed in her office from that day on. Months later, during the company's annual gala, Olivia called Daniel onto the stage. The audience applauded politely, not knowing who he was. Then she said, "This man taught me what true success looks like. It's not in stock prices or luxury cars, it's in the lives you touch. And tonight, I want to honor him with the first ever Heart of Gold award." The crowd erupted. Daniel stood there, overwhelmed, clutching the award in his rough, calloused hands. His son watched proudly from the audience, eyes shining. After the applause died down, Daniel simply said, "You don't have to be rich to give, you just have to care."